Welcome again to Whispers in the Shadows with Tina, where we delve into the untold stories of those navigating life's challenges. Today, we have a heartfelt message, as usual, from a listener who has bravely shared her difficult journey. Her experience highlights the complexities of relationships, trust, and the painful consequences of misplaced belief in others. As we listen, let's all reflect on her story and think about the advice and support we can offer her. Let's dive in. Dear Tina, late last year I entered into a relationship with a man who at the time seemed like someone I could support and believe in. Both of us were unemployed, but I had a strong work ethic and hustled to make ends meet. He claimed he was aspiring to start a business but lacked the necessary capital. Out of kindness, I decided to lend him money to help kickstart his venture. Unfortunately, the business did not succeed, largely due to his choice to involve friends who weren't committed to its success. Despite my initial reservations, I continued to support him financially, believing in his potential and wanting to help him realize his dreams. However, when my funds ran dry, I had to confront the reality that the business was a lost cause. I communicated this to him, saying I can no longer provide any more funds to revive this struggling business. This moment marked a turning point in our relationship, revealing sides of him I had not seen before. I had been loving and supportive, but it became clear that he viewed me merely as someone he could exploit. When the financial support stopped, he began to verbally and physically abuse me. Whenever I attempted to guide or advise him, he would dismiss my concerns, asserting that he was capable of managing his life without my input. After enduring this for a year, I began to question what I was doing in the relationship and why I was subjecting myself to such treatment. It was evident we were on entirely different paths, leading me to end our relationship. Since the breakup, he has persistently bombarded me with calls and texts, often laced with threats. He has claimed that if I can't have you, no one else will, and resulted in name-calling and insults. Despite my attempt to ignore him, his anger only seemed to escalate. In a shocking twist, he even framed me to the police, accusing me of stealing from him and portraying himself as a hard worker who had been betrayed. I was devastated by the lies, especially considering the sacrifices I had made for him. Fortunately, I managed to gather evidence to clear my name, but the damage was done. Some people in my neighborhood believed his fabrications, but I chose not to let their opinions affect me, knowing it stemmed from jealousy. However, I soon uncovered the painful truth. He had stolen from me. During our time together, he had visited my home frequently and learned details about my finances and where I kept my money. So one day when I was away, he deceived my children into revealing my absence and misled them into thinking I had sent him to retrieve something from my bedroom. That was the moment he took everything I had saved for a business investment I had planned with a friend. When the time came to hand over the funds, I discovered that my savings were gone. He had taken it all, leaving me with nothing. Now I find myself back at square one, feeling like my life has unraveled. I didn't contribute to household expenses, believing that the business would eventually pay off, and I had even asked my mom to help me out, promising to repay her when I started earning. I didn't buy Christmas clothes for my children, convinced that January would bring better opportunities. But now all my hopes have been dashed. To make matters worse, he had told me that if I want my money back, I must take him back. The thought of reporting him to the police terrifies me, despite having recordings as evidence of his threats and abuse. He has a history of violence, and I fear for my safety. I feel crushed, hurt, and utterly defeated. The weight of this situation has left me feeling depressed and overwhelmed, as I have failed everyone who believed in me. Any advice or support you could provide would mean the world to me. Thank you. Thank you all for joining us as we listened to this deep moving story. This story reminds us of how important it is to recognize our worth and the value of our relationships. And to our dear listener, know that you're not alone in this struggle and there is support out there. I invite everyone watching to share their thoughts, advice, or any similar experiences in the comments. Let's create a space of understanding and healing together. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.